Good evening, my lovely ladies and gentlemen. This is BestInSlot. We are back again playing at Jurassic World Evolution, working on our Prehistoric Planet Park thingamajiggy. Now, as you can tell, I've been a little bit busy since last episode. I've not done too much. I've put in the hotel for now because I think I quite like the hotel there, but I'm not sure. We'll have a little think about that. Some people did suggest making this a Metriacanthosaurus exhibit, and I liked that idea, but we're not going to do it for now, and you'll see why. We may make it a Troodon exhibit if we make this southeastern area sort of the right area for the Troodon, but we'll have to see about that. I've had a little bit of a think and a little bit of a problem. I thought that there were many more European dinosaurs in this game than there actually are. There's actually very, very few. They're basically all in Britain, and with one Portuguese dig site. There's very little outside of that. So what we're going to do, I've been thinking this through. This northeast section is now Europe and Asia. It's Europe and Russia, I should say. Europe and Russia. So all of Russia is now included. It's Europe and Russia together. We're going to do in Americas. We're going to do in Asia, because Asia's got tons of dinosaurs, even if you take out the Russian ones as well. And then we're going to do in Africa/Australia. Those two together. And then there may be one or two that don't quite fit in there. We can always think about those. But those four categories alone should give us a good mix of dinosaurs. Even saying that, despite that, it is still quite a tight squeeze to get all the dinosaurs into this little European section and Russian section, because there really isn't that many options. We're going to do two more exhibits, one of which we're going to do today. Before we move on to that, we have named our Baryonyxes. Thank you again for all the name suggestions. We have Steve Irwin, of course, because of his love of the crocodiles. We have Blitz, which is a great little name, and Juicebox. Doesn't look like a juice box, looks absolutely terrifying. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work on a building up here, an exhibit I should say, and we're going to cheat just a teeny tiny bit. I wanted to use the Olorotitan. That's one of the few Russian dinosaurs in the game from Far East Russia, so under the old rules we would have actually included it in Asia, but we're going to put it in Russia. And Olorotitan lived with a dinosaur called Geronosaurus. I don't know if it's a hard C or soft C. Either way, it's this other hadrosaur. Now it isn't a Parasaurolophus, but it looks, they're very, very, very similar. They're identical in many, many ways. And in order to buff up Europe a little bit, we're going to put in the Parasaurs and pretend they're Coronos. Basically, people do this all the time in Jurassic World Evolution. They'll pretend one dinosaur is another just to make it fit into dig sites or into ages, and like you want more Cretaceous dinosaurs or whatever. So we're going to do it for the very first time. Actually, I've never actually done this before. In our Jurassic World Evolution build, we're going to have Kronosaurus, we're going to have a Olorotitan, and we're going to have a Metriacanthosaurus. And then over here, we're going to have our Portuguese exhibit, which is going to be Ceratosaurus and Stegosaurus, and that's going to be Europe. Done. And then we can move on to the others. So, I have got a little plan for how we're going to build this up here. I've chosen this area specifically because the hill is there. I've got like an image up of like an artist's rendition of where Olorotitan and Kronosaurus would have lived together. So we're going to kind of base it on that. They wouldn't have lived with the Metriacanthosaurus, but I want to bring in some carnivores. And we are going to turn off combat entirely. This means we can mix our herbivores and carnivores together without them murdering each other, which is nice. So we should get our Oloros on the way, and we're going to start off with the Oloros as well. We're going to have more Oloros because they're the main draw, I would say. I love the Olorotitan. Where are you, beautiful? You big-necked weirdo. Where have you gone? Why can't I spell? As soon as it comes to dinosaurs, I just lose all sense of anything. Right, there's 4. So we want Vivid. We want... What this does mean, guys, is you guys are going to need to leave loads of suggestions down below in the comments. I believe Arid I really like. Is it Arid? Is it Alpine? It's Arid. Arid and Taiga and Vivid, I believe, are my favourite 3. And I quite like the default. We're going to mix it up a little bit with the colours. It's a Olorotitan, you know, it should be nice and colourful. Now, what I was thinking for this exhibit, so we want things to look a little interesting. We've already got a hill here, so I thought what we'll do is we're going to make this into, I think we might block off this bottom end entirely. Like so. And kind of make like a little valley sort of area, right? And then block off again part of the valley sort of here. So the idea is, now they could cross over, but the Olorotitans and the Carnosauruses, inverted commas, kind of live on their own, separate from the Metries. The Metries could get over, but they've kind of found like a little hidden valley with water and food where they can live in peace, hiding away from the carnivores. That's kind of the idea. I just wanted to do something. Anything. So we're going to just try to bring this out a little bit. It's important to keep the path flat, which is incredibly difficult to do, but that's okay. Something like that. I don't want the Metries to have loads of room. The Metries are going to have their own little area here that you'll be able to see. We'll have a little look in here. I mean, it's not a big... This is the problem. It's not a big area, so we're going to flatten this down. We want this to be as harsh a cliff as we can possibly get, if you know what I mean. It should be... Because we need room here, don't we? This is the only problem. I'm kind of running out of space, but that's better already. So the Metries are going to roam around here. Just a couple of Metries. You know, this is plenty of room for 2 Metries living on their own. And then we'll have like a little oasis valley little area here where the Oloros and the Coronos / Parasaurolophuses can live in peace. That's the idea. I don't know, it's hard to come up with ideas. If anyone has any suggestions for how we should do the Ceratosaurus / Stegosaurus exhibit in the next video, which is going to sit in this little gap here, we can put some buildings. It doesn't have to be this big. We can add some buildings and stuff and kind of dig into it a little bit. Also like to point out, look what I did here with the path. Connected it all together. Looks pretty cool, right? With the grey in the middle. I like it anyway. Right, so let's put the actual fence up. What I was also thinking is if we put in a viewing tower here... Let me just see if this works. So if we had a viewing tower there... Okay. And then we brought the hill in over here as well. So basically you can't see directly in, really. I mean, you'd catch a glimpse past the tower. But the idea is... Yeah, look at that. I like that a lot. And we'll have the fence here as well. So you can maybe catch a glimpse every now and again, but you have to get into the tower and look into this. We're going to bring it up a little bit more. It does mean they're going to have a lack of room, but I think it's worth it for the effect. So some people will disagree with that. I mean, they can walk around on the hills anyway, so it's not like they're as completely contained as they look. But it's like proper dug into the hill. I really like the look of that. And then you peep over it, and it's this tiny little area. And they're all going to live here happily in their little oasis. Maybe 4 is too many. Although it's going to be 4 Oloros and 2 Paras, and they're going to live, I'd imagine, in this sort of whole region here. I think that's enough room. It's such a shame that you cannot flatten this. It really is a big deal. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Yeah, I think that's enough. Oopsie, lemony Jesus. There we go. Plenty of room. Absolutely blimmin' plenty. I do want this to look a little bit more natural as well. Like, I don't think it would flatten down that quickly, sort of thing. You know, it would be more of a slope on this side, maybe, and then a hard drop onto that side. That's what I'm kind of going for here. The Metries are going to live in a hilly, bouncy sort of area. Don't know why it's bouncy, but let's just roll with it. You know, this is their little hidey hole, their little nesting region. And then when they need to journey across the mountains to try to feed on the hadrosaurs on the other side. That's the idea. We're trying to sell a story here, folks. We're always trying to sell a story. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Looks a little weird next to the lack of hills here, but what we could do is also... I do like this idea as well. If we have a hill... I'm not going to do it now, because that's for next episode. But if we have a hill... This is a big exhibit anyway, right? So if you have a big hill cliff thing going around the back end of this exhibit here, then as you're walking down here... I'll probably have to do something about this path. You'd have hills on both sides, maybe just 2 viewing towers, and you can't really see into either exhibit, but you feel like you're sort of surrounded, and like you're walking down a valley, able to then look into either exhibit on the other side. And then we could have like a viewing gallery here for like a more normal view, and it might make those hills look a little bit less out of place. That sounds like a plan. Let's pop some dinosaurs out. Wait, do I like the Vivid one? Is Vivid my Galaxy one? No, it's not, but it's okay. It's not the worst. It's not the best. Not the best, but it's not the worst. Do like the colour of the crest. Such a non-committal. Oh, it means I don't have my Pretty Galaxy one. I think Taker's the watermelon one, right? Arid is the orange and blue in the crest, and then we've got the default. I've missed my faves. Was it the Alpine? Yeah, you're rubbish. You're like my least favorite. Oh no, that is the watermelon. Never mind. It's hard to remember, it really is. There are places online, like there's a Jurassic World Evolution wiki, of course, where you can see the skins before you make them, but I've already got like 4 images up on my other screen, so I can track what exactly I'm meant to be doing here, and like the component. I plan the exhibits out beforehand, of course. Anyways, let's get back to work. And I still want to think about how we're going to do the viewing for the Metri. I'm not really sure on that quite yet. Nope. It's definitely small. That's okay. I think that's okay. I think naturally this kind of area would gather water as well, so that is something I want to lean on a little bit. I just don't want it to be over the top, you know? Something like that, I guess. What we can do to make it feel more like they are. So I really like how this hill here looks. You know, it's very... It's sort of natural looking. When we stick some trees in, it's going to fix everything, I swear. It's all around here. Like I said, I was going to base it off this little image I've got on the side, but we just don't have the room. If I'm going to commit to this hill idea, which I very clearly am, you know, there's only so much I can do, really. Doesn't it just feel... And there's a little path here. A little lit up gateway down, and then down here to where the Metris are going to live. And if they want to get here, they have to head up here, head down there. I mean, they don't. They can walk through the trees. And then it's this little secluded area. And you can't really see in. If we just... I don't know how many trees I can put here without... Oh, that might be perfect. Absolutely... Not perfect. That tree has to go. Just that tree specifically. Let's have a little look. And that's your viewpoint. Your little look into the valley. You're not allowed to see them. They need a little privacy as well. You know, everyone deserves a little bit of privacy, folks. So if they need the privacy, they go over there onto the left. What we might also do, just to make this look a little bit more interesting, and to give us a little bit more room, because I feel bad for the Metris. I mean, okay, these guys are a little bit crammed in, but I think it's okay. The Metris are going to be a little bit crammed onto this left, and it'll make it look a little bit more interesting. We're going to bring out the path a little bit. Just not that much, just about there, and then we're going to drag that over. I'm going to extend Europe just a little bit. And plus it's interesting, I like it, you know, when the path comes out there and then it jumps out a little bit. It's very sci-fi looking in a way, all these sort of rings, and then they jot in on like very hard angles. And that's kind of the theme we're trying to carry on through the entire park, that and the circles. I'm going to do a circle around here as well. I want to do something with this path here. I'm not really sure what yet, but it looks okay for now. And I just want to do this so we can do our fence over here. Just so it's a little bit further away, because I want to also do a viewing gallery. And that way we've got 2 different ways of viewing these dinosaurs, which is interesting. Snap, you little lemon. I know you'll snap onto a fence, but I need to put this down before the fence, don't I? Yes, I do. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Nearly... It's off by like an inch, literally like an inch, but I guess it'll do. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with it, but it'll do. And electrified heavy. And do we stick to the same style we've always been doing? Give it a little bit of, a little bend there for science reasons, probably. Shut up, you don't know my life. And now we just curl this around here as per usual. Until we get over here. And then we have to... Yeah, that'll do, whatever. In case you can't tell, I am still a little bit sick. I mentioned this in my videos the other day. Actually, didn't just mention it, you probably heard me die a couple of times. I am better, thank you for everyone who commented. I'm slightly less dead. No, that's not worked. But I am having to maintain my voice at a relatively normal level, which is difficult for me, but I don't really have a choice at the moment, unfortunately. As soon as I'm dead, I promise I'll go back to just talking utter nonsense absolutely constantly. this is interesting. Right, I really like this area here. I think that looks really nice with the sort of just the fences curling around, and there's an exhibit on the right, there's an exhibit on the left, and they all sort of come together. But what I'm thinking is maybe we can put another viewing platform in here. I know you want to, yeah, there we go, there we go. About there. Okay. Does it keep, oh, right. I was like, why does it keep defaulting to gate? Because you keep picking the gate BestInSlot. And just do that. We don't actually need to go around the back, do we? We know that that one does block them, so as soon as we can block them on this left-hand side as well... I swear this never used to work as well in the past, you know, the blocking to the edge. I've had problems with it in the past, but it's really coming together at the moment. I want you to go past, and then delete. Oh, it's not going to work. I just want to delete the left bit. I think we can do it if we do this. And then go across. Oh, there. Beautiful. Right, so that is the shape of our exhibit. We need some trees over here. Well, so all this is going on. We really should have been shooting many dinosaurs. That's maybe. And producing many dinosaurs. Oh, right, they've already... I thought they were dead. I was terrified. What's happened to my Aloros? Alright, you've been lying there sort of dying for a long time, so let's get you shifted over. It's a big exhibit. It doesn't seem that big because of how we've built it, but it is. It's big boned at the very least, right? It's a little bit on the chunky side. It's Christmas, you know, everyone puts on a little weight over Christmas. The exhibit included. Let's get some herbivore feeder in there. You want it sort of near the... I'll move it a little bit further forward, actually. You want it so that you can see it from the viewing tower. Surely. So have that there, and we'll have a carnivore feeder over here. Of course, the idea being to keep the mentries over here on the left-hand side as much as possible. I want them to be all able to go across, but I don't want that to be their first instinct, you know? It should be something they do rarely. And at the end of the day, because they no longer want to kill the Aloros, it shouldn't be something they are particularly tempted to do. I'm going to have the water go over there. I think that's going to look really cool. It's not going to go any further, is it? Because it'll bloody... I hate this hill! I hate this hill with all of my heart. Just go away! Just let me break you. Really, all I want. Grumble, grumble. I like that it kind of goes off into the trees over there. I want that to be a little bit clearer. So I like the idea that even if you can't see over there, it kind of looks like the exhibit may go further. Like there's another world out there that you maybe not quite seeing, you know? Whether that ever comes across is a whole other kettle of fish, but... Right, there we go. Yeah, I'm still not sure what I'm doing with this. I think if I just put some pink path around there, that's fine. It is... Oh god, I'm dying. Actually, I think I'm going to get rid of this grey path. I just realised what I've done wrong. Oopsie daisy. You can double up like this if you want, but it makes adding the pink path around it very difficult. There is an easier way to do that, and the easier way is definitely to apply the pink path. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. There we go. To apply the pink path first. And just try to keep it nice and even as you go around. And then fill it in with the grey path after that. And that should... It's a little bit thick at the moment. You kind of want that to be the total thickness of the double path, if that makes sense. So I'll have to redo that before the next episode. Yeah, I'd love some ideas. I like the idea of getting the hill here and maybe matching that on the other side exactly like that, so it kind of looks like a little dint coming out from here. Can we put path here, maybe, at all? No, not without it looking silly. I'm not convinced. I like it because it seems like two separate exhibits, but they actually do cross over. I really like that. Right, let's get the others coming across, and we should get our next dinosaurs breeding. One problem is it's so bloody far away that it takes serious effort to... Come here. Come here.
Heading to pick up the asset.
Right, that should be then. We just want 2 parasaurs, I think. And we're going to go light on the metries as well, just because... You know, they're carnivores and they should always be outnumbered by the herbivores. So which metries do I like? I think Vivid is actually one of my... Is Vivid or Coastal one of my favourites? Actually, I think it's Coastal. We'll grab a Coastal. You know what, I really like the default as well. Default? It's probably neglected, right? Let's go default. Oh, no, viability, 43%. What have I done? It seems fine, like it'll definitely hatch, but the problem is it takes bloody ages. Come on, Coastal, don't let me down. Be the one that I'm thinking. I'm thinking of that, like, dark, reddish, greyish one. It looks really cool. And let's get a couple paras in there. Para, you'll never convince me to like you, but today you are a Coronosaurus. And they're kind of a green colour on this image, and I think, you know what we'll do? We'll get a woodland... It doesn't matter because I hate all the parasaur skins. And a taiga. We're going green for the paras. They shouldn't... I want the Oloro to be the star of this exhibit, you know? I want them to shine. The paras should just kind of be there to buff it up a little bit. And just because we've got so many American dinosaurs already, we don't need to use the paras as paras. We can use them as coronos. I really like this. I'm not convinced on the hotel, per se. I think that could be something else. If we do America down here in the problem is, if we do America here in the bottom right, it's got less room. But Asia's got tons of dinosaurs, so Asia could go over there. So if we do America down here, then we could fill this and make it into a tiny little Troodon exhibit. I think that'd be really nice. It wouldn't even be that tiny, you know, it'd be fairly appropriately sized. But I do think it's important to an extent to have buildings in to break stuff up. I think what we'll do is maybe do like a line of buildings across here where it sticks out and then pull that down there. Just to break up the... I mean, the park looks nice with paths and trees and exhibity bits, but you need buildings and man-made stuff and lakes and stuff like that to kind of just make it a little bit more interesting to look at overall. And at the end of the day, I do want it to feel like a park. And at the moment, I think it does. Same with the monorail. I've been considering bringing the monorail round over there, but I'm just gonna... The people need some exercise, right? A lot of the guests in Jurassic World Evolution are surprisingly chubby, so... You know, give them a little bit of walking. They'll be fine. I just want to prove my point here. He says, zooming in on all these extremely fit people. You. Her, for example. And not there's anything wrong. Oh, they're a couple. Oh, they look happy. That's nice. Oh, she's even wearing love hearts. Scientists roaming around, doing sciencey things. As you do, I guess. Yeah. So I think like a row of shops around here might look pretty good. I mean, as good as shops ever look, you know. Right, how are we doing, guys? We all happy? I mean, you kind of have to be, don't you? You know what? I think even with 2 more dinosaurs in here, it's plenty of room. It's definitely not massive, but yeah, I like it. I'm going to put a little bit of tree here. There we go. That's why I wanted 1 tree, just to break up the monotony of the area a little bit. Maybe have that come down there. There we go. And same. I like trees. Okay. I can't have that, can I? Okie dokie. Let's pop out our paras. Pop out a para. I don't know. What's the difference between woodland and taiga? I really cannot remember. You know what? I don't remember this parasaur at all. Why don't I remember you? Are you new? Did I unlock you recently? Wait a minute. This is the new one. This is the one I unlocked. This is the woodland one. Oh, I actually like this with the purple. That's quite nice. Is that more purpley than usual? It seems more purpley than usual to me. Have they changed it? As far as I remember, it's very similar to this. Paras are slightly more interesting looking than I remember. Am I going utterly crazy? It's a possibility. They look nice together, don't they? They have changed dinosaur skins before. I don't think they even mentioned it in the patch notes. I can't quite remember. But the Indominus Rex coastal skin was changed from release. When it first came out, it was just pure black, basically, and they changed it so that it's got the same skin as the others with the stripes and the jagged marketing. Your Indominus Rex is trying to sell you a car. That jagged marking, like the rainforest one with the sort of blue shining through it, and they gave it like a light grey over there, well, like a dark grey, but lighter than the black around it. It's very subtle. It looks okay, but people aren't thrilled about it. Maybe should have waited to do this until they were a little further away. How you doing, buddy? The Metri has such a disappointing roar. It's like a mouse burping. It really is. It doesn't do anything. I'm really glad they're staying down here. Why would they leave, right? The water's here, the food is here. I'm hoping I can keep them all in the same exhibit together without them ever wandering into each other's exhibit. And even if they do, they should always go back because that's where the food is. So it's really nice being able to... I mean, you could mix and match the dinosaurs anyway because of the new rules, with the new sandbox options and stuff like that, but it's nice being able to do it just through sheer exhibit building, you know? This is plenty big size for 2 Metries. I'll have to do some messing around with the paths, fancy it up, and I think a hill there, another tower there, in the exact same location, bending in, viewing platform there, Ceratosaurus, Stegosaurus, shops there, do like a little retail zone, and then we can work on the next area, or we could even go back down here, get rid of the hotel, do some Troodons. I don't hate the hotel though. I think it needs, like I said, I think it needs buildings and stuff to just feel like a park at the end of the day. Where's my other Metri? There you are. Oh, are you sleeping already? Ah, this is the one I like. I really like that Metri. It's like coffee and feces together, which is, quite frankly, the dream, so... Let's get all our dinos shipped across.
En route to pick up the asset.
Oh, this should be a pretty easy shot. He's having a nap. Oh, he's getting up. That's very good. Oh, you gotta feel that in the morning, buddy. That was rough sounding. Ouch. Just realised that I've turned the day-night cycle off. Oopsie daisy. Oh well.
Asset in transit.
I like those two because they look very, very similar. You know, it's very similar shades of green. That one's a little bit more green, a little darker, a little bit more saturated, and then they've got the different colours on the back. I'm just wondering, do I want to see the feeder from the viewing platform?
Asset being transported.
I think so. Well said, buddy. I do like this skin, I've got to say. This is the one you unlock for... Isla... Pena? That doesn't make sense, isn't it? Isla Tucano for the... This isn't the unlocked one, is it? Am I going crazy? I think I'm going crazy, actually. Oh, I don't know. I thought you unlocked Parasaur and... Actually, I have no idea. At all. Maybe it's not an unlocked one, I just kind of forgot that there's a purple one. That seems more likely now that I think about it. Ah, this is plenty big enough. Plenty. Just our own happy little world over here. And just round the bend, climb up the hill, through the light, back down and around, and there's a little open area for the carnivores to live as well. And they're fed, you know, they don't need to go kill anything. I mean, they're not going to, obviously. But still, they don't need to. They can even go hang out in this little pocket over here. I wonder if I can put food there. Yeah, why not? Give them a little hidden home kind of thing. I like that. I might actually get the food away from there. It means they'll spend a lot of time over there on the left, but...
Asset transportation complete.
Means we can put more trees in. I like not always being... I know it sounds daft, but I like not always being able to see the dinosaurs, you know? Let him land.
Asset transported.
Okay, you want to catch this just while the smoke is still here, although I suspect it's not in the right spot. It's such a cool skin. Roar for me, baby. It's not a roar. It's a cool skin. I will hear nothing against the Metri. I neglected it, admittedly, for a long time. But no more, ladies and gentlemen. No more. Well, it looks a little weird here. I don't really know why. What you looking at, punk? It looks like a puppy! Look at those eyes! It's actually adorable. Alright. Oh. Into its hidden little I do like that. I'm going to even put more trees in. I know I'm a little obsessed with trees, but I just really want it to feel hidden away, and you know, even if they're the carnivores, they deserve like a little safe private eating spot. I mean, it's not that private. I'm here staring at them as they shove meat in their mouths, not for the first time in my life, but I still think it's really, really cool. Really covered in shadow, dark little area. And then when they want, they can wander out here into the light and hang around over here and, you know, do things. But I wouldn't blame them for spending most of their time right over here. So I need you to put your head in the light for a minute, buddy, because you are my screenshot dinosaur. See, I do think... Are you having a drink? Yeah. What I could maybe do, however, is get rid of the water here. Move it down more that way, just so they're more incentivized to come over here in the first place. It still kind of looks like it fades in because that water there is really shallow. It's got a nice little swampy look to it there. I'd love to be able to do that constantly. This here, right there. This kind of level of water where it's really thin. You could build a swamp really easily. I mean, it's in the game already. Just let me put like a film of water over my park, you know? Cover this whole thing in water. You are ruining everything with your positioning. Oopsie daisy. That's a beautiful dinosaur. They look good there, don't they? The exhibit looks really nice. The two of them standing at the water's edge. Oh. Oh, and it's raining. Heading back out. Alright, I've just sat here watching my dinosaurs for far too long now. We're going to end it there. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. So we need names for 2 Metriacanthosauruses, 4 Aloratitans, 2 Parasaur, 2 Coronosauruses, and also some ideas. Reminder that if you want to leave a name suggestion, go into the description, go into the QT. It does work for most people. Some people have some problems. I apologise about that, but I am sticking to the QT because it works for most people, and it would be unfair to people who signed up for it because I've already talked about it, blah, blah, blah. Next episode, we're going to do Ceratosaurus and Stegosaurus. If you have any ideas you'd like to see me implement, don't hesitate to let me know. I do really like the idea of having another hill here and having this being like a very secret little area thing. So I think that's what we're going to roll with, but there's plenty more we could do that as well, so don't hesitate to let me know. Thanks for joining me. Cheers. Much love as always. Bye-bye. Quick little shout out at the end. This video and others like it would not be possible at all without the support of you guys watching me at home, and also everyone on this Patreon page right here who supported me in the last month. If you want to help out as well, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. Every little really helps. Cheers.